Episode number 160.
We take little incremental bites of solutions that we think are going to solve some problem and get us to a next step. We do that. We track the process. We track the analytics on that. If it's working the way that we want it to work, we do that over and over again.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, I'm fired up today because we are going to attack your business and your website with my man, our featured guest today, Dennis Plucinik. Dennis, are you ready to be real?
Travis, I'm ready.
Let's bring the fuego, my man. Bring the fuego. Dennis is the founder of Attack. He started his company with the goal of doing things right. He spent many years in the digital advertising world where he's working and you work real hard. You know, you're blending your personal life. You're working hard, playing harder. And you're also, at some point leaving the office late, having drinks, with the buddies at night, and then basically getting right back to it. And he found himself really wondering, can he create a different culture? Can he create a different work culture where people don't feel maybe that same amount of stress, from deadlines and working late nights and weekends? And obviously there's usually a lot of turnover in the advertising agency business because of this, because they just work them to death almost. And, but so Dennis created and wanted to create a workspace where tasks could get done during work hours and where employees don't feel, that they have to work beyond the 6 p.m. time frame. So, I mean, in this new world, everyone's kind of looking for that, where they can have a work-life balance. And Attack takes on projects that Dennis and the team feel best suited for them. So that's another key strategy, is not just taking on customers that just because, take on the stuff that you really want to work on. So Dennis, you've given our listeners just a little insight, but how's your day going today?
Day's going pretty well. What time is it? Yeah, it's already afternoon, and I think I've been up since 7 o'clock, went to the gym.
Man, you've been grinding.
Ran a couple miles, did a little workout.
Nice. Is that your key stroke, is to go to the gym early in the mornings to getting things fired up?
Once we hit the spring, yeah. During the winter, I'm taking a bit of a break though. I train for the marathon every year, but I definitely break after the marathon for a few months.
Gotcha. Let the body repair.
Yeah, it takes a bit.
So when you go run, you running at the gym or you running outdoors?
If it's nice out, I'm running outdoors.
Nice.
A lot of times I'll take my daughter out to school. She goes to school in Bushwick. And
okay.
I'll just run back home. It's a couple mile run, not even, it's like a mile and a half. So it's a quick little warm up.
Perfect. Doing two things at one time. Kill two birds with one stone right there. I like your style, my man.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about your story. You worked in the advertising and, digital world. At what point was it that you actually wanted to start Attack? What gave you that epiphany?
Well, I don't know exactly which point it was. I feel like I've always been destined to do this, and it's always been in my mind that I wanted to sort of run my own operation. There was always something just to sort of like a scratch at the roof of my mouth that I couldn't get rid of, working for someone else. It's just being beholden to someone else's mistakes never really vibed well with me.
Right.
And I saw so many mistakes. I moved here from college. I went to college in Buffalo. So I moved to New York thinking I'm going to be here with the best. Like, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to grind. I want to be surrounded by people who are just inspirational, incredible. And I found out that that's not always the case. You go into an environment where there's a range of people from all different educations and experience levels, young, old, everyone's in different positions. And every business is a little bit of a different culture. And it becomes much more complicated. It's not just black and white, like you're either good or you're not. And I have been fortunate enough to find many qualified people. Many of those people are working with me right now. But I found it to be really difficult for those good people to do their best work. It's just the environment grinds people down.
Right.
So many reasons why. If you're young, right, you come out of school, you're 24 or 25, like you have so much energy, you're excited, you're working at top ad firms for, A-list companies. And so you feel a sense of pride and that drives you to want to work all night or go out with your coworkers and party all night and then come back and do it the next day. But that really, you can't sustain that life.
Yeah, once you get into your 30s, you start thinking time's valuable, man. I mean,
right.
And, do I want to be working these late hours? Am I getting rewarded for that? Am I, a lot of the agencies, from what I hear, is they get you into a salary position and they just work you.
Right. Yeah. And to me, that's just theft. I mean, if you have a family, would you rather be working or spending time with your family? Obviously, you don't want to be working. If you had a choice, cut it off at 6 p.m., go home, spend time with your kids.
Yep.
I mean, not young kids, people out of college, for example, don't, on average, have children that early on in their career. So, those big ad firms tend to accommodate this hero mentality type of culture. And that really excludes people who don't have the ability to do that. And they feel left out because they've got to go home or take their kids to school or whatever.
Right.
So I've always sought to avoid that type of exclusive culture. So, we're 9 to 5.
So you're 9 to 5, and then you must obviously have some great workflows to be able to then obviously get work done.
Yeah, well, for one, just we don't have any meetings.
Yeah. Yes.
We started saying, let's not have any meetings. And then eventually everyone was really excited, but eventually said, maybe we should have one meeting. We need to know what we're doing.
Right.
So we started this by necessity, having a daily meeting. We're a small group with 10 people, so we can have a daily meeting. We go around. We ask the 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? Is anything stopping you from progressing?
Right.
It's a really, really quick meeting. 10 minutes. You got your whole day planned out. We use tools like Forecast and Harvest to track all of those things. And they're really nice tools, and they make the whole workflow very efficient.
And do you find that's one of your competitive advantages too, is taking advantage of those tools and really, not just overdoing it? I always remember managers and meetings was the one thing that always killed me. Is like the manager wants to meet for an hour and then they want us to sit in meetings for, on Wednesdays, 4 hours. It's like, dude, what are we getting done here today?
Yeah, we really do. We focus on that. We have a headphones rule at the office. Someone's got their headphones on. Don't talk to that person. And especially don't go up behind them and shake their shoulder or something. That's
right.
Super taboo. So, we respect everyone's time, and we bring lunch into the office every day. We have a Slack channel. You just order lunch and it comes.
Oh,
not
that's
to
awesome.
keep you at your desk, but to keep you from having to think about it.
Yeah.
So focus on your work. You got to make the assumption. Everything that we do is on the assumption that the people that we hire are passionate craftsmen. They want to do their best work. And so for that type of person to do their best work, they have to have long periods of time where they can focus and get into this flow state. And typically at some agency, you're getting you come in at 10, you get a 10 o'clock stand up, or maybe even come in at 9. If you're looking for a financial company, you're coming in at 8 or something like that. But anyways, you have a meeting, you have a stand up, you've got maybe an hour to get some work done, you get another meeting, you get an hour, then you've got lunch, and you come back, you get an hour, another meeting. You never get 2-3 hours of just straight focusing time.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't do my best work in that environment. So that was day one. Just no meetings, headphone rule, just everyone know, we're all adults here. We know how to do our work. We're all passionate about doing the right thing, right?
Just stay on top of them, right? Just stay on top of them. Like you said, you just have a quick little check-in with them and see how things are going and what challenges they're having, and that's it.
That's right.
No need to prolong it and make it like a dragged-out thing just because to say we were in a meeting, man.
Yeah. Some people like to talk to. You got we have some remote people. I'm remote
sure
now. I'm working out of my apartment in Brooklyn.
Sure.
We wanted to be a remote company right from the beginning. So got one developer works in Pittsburgh. A couple other people work from home, 2-3 times a week.
Oh, that's the best too, man, for your team, man. I found even our business too. We found a lot of success not having some big headquarter building where people are all just sitting there, and let them work when they're where they want.
Just want to focus. Yeah. And if they don't have a good work environment at home, then we just buy whatever they need.
Yes.
Monitors or whatever. Just I'd rather have them be happy. I'd rather have everyone just be efficient and not have to worry about traveling into the office if they don't have to. Look, if it's raining out, we put I'm not coming. Or if it's snowing or something, or someone's sick, or all these reasons why you don't really want to have people in the office. WeWork's also, the office space itself is pretty small, so we're real close together. So if someone's got a cough or something, just don't come in. They know, just don't bring them in the office.
Got you. That's interesting. Yeah, it's the new world we live in. It's a new world for business, and businesses like yours are going to continue to thrive because the traditional agencies are they built on these huge buildings and they got all these employees and team members and 15 different account managers for one account, and they don't know what's going on, and
a lot of overhead. Yeah,
it's not all bad.
Not all bad. Those offices are super nice. Some of the offices, a couple of big agencies, I won't name names, have built brand new offices in the last couple of years, and it's just gorgeous.
I bet. Oh, I
So
can
I do miss that about some of those agencies, that you also have this sense of just energy. There's a lot of other people around. In WeWork, we get that because we're amongst other startups, so other people around. We make clients out of our neighbors sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another benefit of you guys' of business is you're bumping into people that might need web design.
Yeah, for sure. We had our name on the door for years, and nobody would come by, and then we go, let's just put website design on it and see what happens. And a lot more people started coming by saying, "Oh, actually, you do website design."
Amazing, huh? Just a simple web design on your sign. That's a great point for people.
It took us like 2 years to figure that out, but yeah.
Hey, you know what? Better late than never, right? Better late than never. Can you also tell me what is some of the lessons you're learning now? As you're getting into this, you're starting your own agency. What are some of your challenges, or what are some things you really found you learned from?
There are so many challenges. There's nobody telling me what to do next.
Right.
That's the change, where you work a job, you have someone to tell you what you're doing that day. But as I sit here talking to you, nobody said go and talk to Travis.
Right.
But we start to think about how do we approach our goals strategically, and we've got a lot to say now. We've got a new website coming out. We're expanding this service offering, so we want to go and talk about it. And so that's one thing that we're deciding to do, and we'll do that over and over again, and we take little incremental bites of solutions that we think are going to solve some problem and get us to a next step. We do that. We track the process. We track the analytics on that. If it's working the way that we want it to work, we do that over and over again. If it doesn't, we ditch it and move on to the next one. It's like
go to the next.
Engineer's motto: don't ever change more than one variable at a time. So we change one, track it, move on to the next one,
and see if it works.
Yeah, and that's not. It's challenging. It's challenges to guess what we could do next.
Right.
We're not closing as much business as we want to. We go, well, I wonder why that is.
Yeah,
we can ask some clients.
Is it the proposal? Is it the price point? Is it the?
Could be. Yeah, it could be the words that you use.
You always wonder that. Yeah, there's so many things in this business that when you have a new customer that's wanting a new website and they're saying, "Hey, Dennis, I want a new site. I want the bells and whistles. I got this brand. I'm going to blow up."
We got an email from an accidental email from a client that we sent a proposal to, and we were bidding against another company, and one of the client's internal people CC'd everybody.
Oh, wow.
We were talking about us, and we said, I don't think you meant to send this to everybody, just FYI, probably take us off the list here. But just that one email gave us incredible insight into how they were thinking. We very rarely get that. We'll do a dozen or 24 large projects, and we'll get a little bit of insight from each of those.
So it's always interesting to kind of learn, even though that one was kind of even their error, it might help you, guide the ship better, right? And maybe it's one simple change might get the proposal closed. That's a big piece of this business is, do the clients understand the proposal, and do they know all the value that's in it? And also, is it easy for them to read? Because I know sometimes, with clients, they don't want a whole 15-page proposal. They want something simple. I've even, more and more of these companies are doing kind of almost proposals on the go. It's like some sort of AI that's creating some of this stuff for them, or some sort of back-end tool that's creating it, so that the customer says, "Hey, I want a website, Dennis. This, plug in these few things," and then the attack website gives them the proposal, and then you don't even have to do the work,
Yeah.
You're seeing things like that, you're seeing more and more things like that too, because people, and then obviously there is a big project. You want to have a long tail proposal, but if it's maybe something simple, you could have something quoted online. I've even thought about that myself for our business. It's like, maybe can the website itself just generate the proposals and give these people quotes? And I've seen some companies do it. So it's just interesting.
It's a hard choice to make and we do have like a start your project form on the site, which is meant to be a really easy entry point if you have any questions and you don't want to just call and say, "Hey, what do I do next?"
Right.
Kind of a way to guide you through that. With our new site, got a much more refined process, so it's a little more friendly. It's conversational, kind of helps you, answer the questions, but still give some free-form answers. But if you do something like, "Hey, we're going to give you a bid right out the gate," then you're kind of commoditizing the work that you do, and that's not really what we do. We're building pieces of art. Really, we're doing bespoke,
absolutely,
design and custom development, and so it takes a little bit of conversation to figure out, when someone needs to have the thing done by. There's generally three dials you get to choose. Speed, quality, and cost. So
speed, quality, cost.
You only get to choose two. So it's a conversation, and nobody is a professional client. So we have to educate on what it means to deliver a user persona, or a journey map, or a user flow, or a site map. Most people don't know what those are. And It's an assumption that we were making for a long time, that we would just understand what a site map was. But, the client's job is to be good at their job and their business. And it's our job to help communicate what a good website or a web application or a digital marketing strategy can do for them as a business. So, it's hard. The biggest challenge, I think, to go back to answer the question, is communicating the value of what we do.
Yes.
To non-technical clients.
Yes, absolutely. Because in the perfect world, you get a customer that wants to do a new site. You send them over the proposal, and they close. The deal say, hey, Dennis, the check's in the mail. Let's get going on this thing April 1st, right? I mean, that's a perfect ideal, right? I mean, it's like, okay, let's move forward. But then
they understand exactly what we're saying. Our expectations are all in line, but it's never perfectly the case.
Right. There's always some variation, right?
Yeah. We've been fortunate now after 4 years, to have built up some pretty good relationships with fantastic clients. And so we do work on a regular basis with them, and they know what to expect, and we know what to expect. So the exchange is really seamless now. So we get a proposal or a brief from them, or an RFP or something, and we're able to put it back into their language very quickly. And, so that's the ideal scenario, is also you have people who you enjoy working with.
Right.
And that's one of the metrics that we use to determine which clients we take on. I don't like the vibe I'm getting. We've had clients who have treated our female employees badly, and I said, we're not working with you anymore.
So would you just say, hey, you know what, we just don't feel like this is the right fit?
Yeah, or you could do things like they come back and say we finish a project, and then we have a retrospective and we review what happened, and someone says, hey, this guy's actually said a couple things like over the course of however long to our female employees, and we go, okay, well, we're not working with that person again. And then they come back from our work and we say, all right, well, that's $1 million. And they're like, well, we can't afford that. So we're going to go somewhere else. We don't have to outright say, hey, we don't like you. It's just there's tactical ways around this.
Raise that price, baby, right?
Right.
Raise that price. You don't want to work, you want to pay the price.
Are you $1 million more than everyone else? Like, well, because you're a jerk.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's a secret sauce right there. It's just, hey, you don't feel like this client's going to be you feel like if you get the feeling in the first meeting that you're going to have some difficulty with them, you better go in with the high price. You know what I mean? Don't go in with something where you feel like the conversation and the product and brand are just a great fit. And in that case, you might be a little more competitive. It's a great point. I mean, just raise the price, put $1 million tag on there and say, hey, this is what it is.
Right.
If you don't want to work with us, then, go.
I feel like I should rephrase that to say that we don't price things based on that, generally speaking. That's like a last resort if we just don't want to have somebody around.
I think it's smart though. I mean, I really do, especially for those, if you just don't get that right vibe. Most of the times in the first meeting or first phone call, you can get kind of the vibe of the customer. And
there's a lot of red flags. They come in a lot of varieties, but they're easy to spot now. And most of our team, we have a small management team that we look at these types of projects with, and these proposals, and we'll just say, we'll look at each other sometimes and go, this is going to be a problem. Like this is going to either take too long, or the person doesn't really understand what they want, but they're really adamant about it. A lot of times we get an email from someone that says, hey, can you do this website, and do you take credit cards? And it's like, well, that's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Okay, he's asking to take credit cards, right? And question number one is probably not a real credit card.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Most people, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, most customers in that case, they're going to write you a check, or that's the like last question after you close everything. Okay, how do you want to prefer to pay?
Yeah, right.
Credit card or check, or what's the best for you? PayPal? What do you think is best?
Yeah. But right out of the gate, if you're asking for a credit card,
that seems a little shady. Right. What type of clients do you tend to work with, or do you like to work with? What kind of businesses are you thriving with?
So we didn't start with any kind of like client in mind, like any kind of expertise area or vertical or industry in mind. I think just being in New York City, the ones that have stood out have been just like they make sense now, right? Like we do a lot of work with e-commerce and fashion, and nonprofits, and health and wellness. And so recently we've started doing a lot of work in cannabis, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're interesting, but they're like New York specific. We do a few interesting technology projects that are not New York specific. I think that's as a result of the type of team that we have. We're not just one particular type of user. We have really highly qualified full stack engineers. So we do some really cool stuff. But that's, I guess we put that into like a startup bucket or
startup camp.
Yeah.
So you really could help anyone. He could help anyone. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do copywriting and design specific for the industry. So we don't have like an attack style that you're stuck with. You get something that's built for your business and it's written for your business.
Not using some template or some other thing like a lot
of
templates.
No templates for sure.
Website design. Right. All right, my man. Well, we're about to take you into our Be Real Show top 10. Let's get into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Apple or Android?
I'm going to go with Apple.
There we go. Netflix or YouTube?
I got to go with both on that one. YouTube I'm using all day long just to learn stuff quickly. Watching videos on 2x, so can't do that with Netflix. Netflix, though, because I love content.
Yeah, they got amazing content, man. I've always blown away by how much more new stuff they have on there.
Yeah, for sure.
I love watching comedy, like stand-up and stuff. It's like all the time. They got so many stand-up stuff.
Comedy. Yeah, especially if I'm like cleaning my house, I'm working at home a lot, and I'm listening to comedy. I don't have to sit there and watch the TV. I can listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. And for both, really, right? Like YouTube, too. You can kind of be working and listening to some interesting conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram for me. I'm a visual person.
Instagram. Chicken, steak, or fish?
Definitely steak.
Steak.
I spent a lot of time in Japan, so I love Japanese steak. But
oh man, you guys got some amazing steak out there too in New York.
New York's got great steak too. Yeah. New York.
Man, are you kidding me? What is that? There's like a really famous steakhouse right there by the Brooklyn Bridge. I forgot what it's called, but it's
Peter Luger's. Probably.
Yeah, there you go, man. Oh man,
they're total jerks though. Like the waiters are comically mean. They just come over and stare at you like, "What do you want?"
Really? That's like part of the stick of their kind of persona. Oh, I got you.
So. I think so. Yeah.
Like we're so damn good, then you're just gonna eat whatever we give you.
Right. What do you want? You're gonna want the potatoes and the spinach and the steak, and they just order for you. And you're like, I guess you probably know better than I do.
You're like, okay, sounds good. That'll be $5,000. Thank you. Laptop or an iPhone?
I have 7 different iPhones on my desk right now. But,
wow!
I'm a power user, so I'm on a laptop.
Wow. What do you do with the different iPhones? Are you using it for testing or something? Or
testing? Yeah.
Interesting.
iPhone 4, 5, 5S, 6, 7, 10.
Oh wow! So you'll just do different to see how they're working on the different platform.
Yeah, we support all these devices, so we've got to make sure that they're really well tested. Like on the actual device, you can't fake it with some virtual testing size. Right?
So then, do you have to get separate mobile plans for all those different ones?
No, they're just old phones that
gotcha.
Or add myself, and they're just connect to Wi-Fi.
Just connect to Wi-Fi, and you're just testing. That's awesome. That's really good that you do that for your customer.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know what people are on. I'm on an iPhone 6S and still happy. I mean, my wife is always getting the newest one, and good for her. I'm so happy that she gets to enjoy it. But I don't need it necessarily. I mean, it's like this one works pretty good. I have tons of memory still left. And
I was happy with the 5. They didn't like the 5 size or that format. As soon as we went to the 6, the thing started flying out of my hand, just shooting across the room and breaking screens and stuff.
I know, and they said that with the new one, it's gonna be like 2020 or something. A 5G phone. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Spotify or Pandora?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say neither. I'm strange. I listen to the same songs and repeat.
Oh, really?
It's like my meditation. So
I've heard this.
Buy an album and just sit there and listen to the same song.
So, what is one of your favorite songs? Then I have to ask.
Definitely not telling you their secret.
Oh, okay.
No, I listen to it depends on the mood. I listen to a lot of Strokes or
got you.
A lot of hip hop, a lot of old hip hop.
Nice. Okay. Movies or video games?
Definitely movies. I don't have time for video games. I don't have time for movies, but I love the art form of movies.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how people spend all that time on video games. I'm like, dang, how do you have time to spend 4 hours on video games? That's crazy.
I think I spent my whole childhood playing video games, so
exactly. Although they were a lot slower and not as graphically visual. I remember the video games when we were playing as kids. And like now it's like, man, these kids are like in whole new worlds, man.
Oh my God,
And the video game's constantly updating and doing different things, and it's like, whoa, man, this is crazy.
I'm actually kind of excited for like the latest VR type platform, so I'm gonna wait for those. I'll probably get back in video games when they come out.
When it's really legit, huh? When it's really a really legit. Do you prefer reading books or listening to books?
I'm on the subway a bit, so I listen to books and podcasts mainly, but I love reading books. Anything to get away from the screen. I'm staring at 3 monitors right now, so I gotta have some like screen downtime. Reading a book will mellow me out.
Take a little break away from your eyes, get away from the blue lights and all that, and just
for sure.
Stocks, crypto, or real estate?
Crypto, though I don't have any anymore.
Yeah, no, 2017 was a crazy year.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So a lot of fun. Staring at the GDAX, just eating lunch like it was a TV show. But it's the future. So I got to go with the future tech.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the things you can do with crypto are amazing. Oceans or lakes?
That's a hard one. I spent a lot of time out on Lake Erie in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
But I always picture myself having an oceanfront house.
Like an ocean pad. Where would you want to live if you had an ocean pad somewhere?
Probably California.
All right.
Probably Malibu or someplace.
Malibu. I like your style. Yeah. On the cliffs, baby. On the cliffs. Malibu. You deserve it, man. You can do it. We just got to get you Nike. We just got to get you Nike as a business, and then we'll.
I did a lot of work for Nike.
Have you? Okay. Well, then there you go. Hey, we got to get you the next big Uber startup or something like that.
You got to get Nike's whole account, maybe.
The whole account. We're gonna get the whole dang thing, man. And
for like 10 years, and then maybe I can buy a house.
My man Dennis is gonna be sitting on the Malibu cliffs. All right, we have a couple more follow-up questions here for you. When you wake up in the morning and you're brushing your teeth and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, why do you love being you?
That's an interesting question. I think that it's because I can't stop. Like I never stopped thinking. I'm never satisfied. I'm always curious. I'm always driven. Like everything's interesting. I love to be positive. This life-changing sort of thing I'm going through where I'm just trying to get rid of everything negative and focus on bringing in positive energy. And there's so many opportunities to do that. And once you get into this positive mindset, everything is interesting. There's so much to be passionate about. So I love that about myself.
That's awesome, brother. That is awesome because it's hard to do. As the lit founder of the company, there's going to be days it's not positive, So you got
super hard to do, yeah.
You got to flip the switch and keep the team motivated and find customers happy, and fight the fires, and then you got to deal with your family and you got to do all these things, and there's no one telling you what next to do. You can do anything.
That's right. You could
you can go do anything
up, or you could make you could land a great project and then everyone celebrates. So
absolutely,
ups and downs.
And then how do you typically like to start your day? Is it the run, getting things going with family?
The easiest thing is to meditate. It's the thing that doesn't really require a lot of energy. I mean, it actually does require a lot of mental energy, but it really gets me calmed down, gets me in the zone, gets me focused. I generally will keep a notebook. I know you're not supposed to break when you're meditating, but my brain just starts to put these connections together, and I use meditation to kind of put my day together. So
nice.
Before I get to the 10 o'clock stand-up, I've already gotten everything planned out. If I can run, I'll run. If I can exercise, it's even better. But
right.
I got to meditate.
Not every day you can do that exercise. Maybe it's raining outside, like you said. There might be weather or something like that.
Right.
Meditation's the go-to. It's the go-to.
Meditation's solid, yeah.
Do you have a app, or do you just do it on your own, kind of lead your own meditation?
Sometimes I'll do it on my own, but I've been generally using the Calm app.
Yeah, it's a great app.
Love it.
It's a great app. Really simple. My favorite app, too, for meditation. Do you have a skill that you're trying to master this year? Is there something you're really focused on? In 2019, we're going to just get better at. I'm going to learn this.
Meditation.
There we go.
The one thing that I want to make it a habit. I don't know, 4 years ago, I made health and diet and exercise a habit. And so started running with the New York Road Runners. I've run 2 marathons. I'm running a marathon this year. That's become a permanent habit. So if I'm not running, I feel like out of phase. So I want to become in sync with meditation as well. I want to make that more of a habit. And just also using that to become more empathetic with people and understand how to carry myself differently and communicate. Right. Ultimately, I think communication is really the underlying factor of having satisfying relationships with people. So I want to be better at that.
Communicating and meditating. I love that. And do you have a favorite app or tool that you like using on a daily basis?
I am in love with Superhuman.
What was it again?
Superhuman. It's
Superhuman.
It's this email app, and I'm spend most of my time in my inbox nowadays, and it's life changing.
What does it do for you specifically?
It's the fastest experience, and I'm not getting paid by Superhuman. I totally should. I tell everyone, like, you got to try Superhuman. It's awesome. It's got everything's keyboard based. It's just intuitive. They've got a beautiful iPhone app. They got a desktop app. The website's unbelievable. It's just fast. And I'm an inbox zero guy. So with Gmail, I've got a complex labeling system that I use to just keep track of the whole organization. And I get maybe like hundreds of emails a day. And with Gmail, just the performance of it over time with all the HubSpot plugins and all that sort of stuff slows down to a point where I can't really operate as fast as my brain's operating. It's Superhuman. I mean, I'm clearing out my inbox like in the middle of phone calls.
Wow.
So
I'm gonna have to check this out, man. We're gonna have to tag him on social too, because my man Dennis is giving him a shout out. Superhuman. It's an app or an extension on Chrome, I'm guessing, or
it's an app. It's got its own. It's just like superhuman.com.
Got you. Superhuman.com. That's cool. I'm always looking for those new things for Gmail, as well.
This will change everything. Like, you'll never use Gmail again. Yeah, this is a whole different thing.
So, be real. If you could sit down today for a nice steak dinner with anyone in the world, who would it be?
I know it's a super cliche, but I want to say Elon Musk. He terrifies me. He scares the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah, dude. I always watch, because I was watching that Joe Rogan one where he's like...
I was going to say him or Joe Rogan together.
Like, some of his answers remind me of a robot. It's crazy. I'm like, I know he's human, but he's like if we do have AI, he's the AI.
I think he saw too much. I think he just can see the future, and it's terrifying. And he's like, look, I've been trying to tell everyone to stop or slow down, and they're not listening, so I'm just going to get high on Joe Rogan's podcast right now.
Right.
So that's scary, but I think it'd be an interesting experience. Also seems like a nice guy.
He is. He does seem, and he's a hard worker. I mean, the guy works supposedly, 10-hour days every day.
Yeah, I subscribe to that as well. I mean, I don't think I slept for 20 years. I'm starting to get some sleep now, but
starting to get a little sleep.
Starting to get a little sleep. Yeah, I started tracking my sleep with the Aura Ring. It's another thing.
Yeah. How do you like that?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
I've heard more and more positive things about that, because sleep is so important to our as an entrepreneur, it's so important to you.
Yeah, you definitely have to be able to bring your A game. You can't walk into a meeting where you're pitching someone on a huge project and then not be able to articulate exactly what it is that you can bring them value for.
Sorry, I haven't been sleeping good. Can you come back in a week?
Yeah, you have to be able to come in and impress. And I used a Misfit Shine wristband for years, and then Aura Ring came out and switched to that, and it's awesome data, great interface. Yeah, that type of stuff I want to bring into my life and sort of make my daily routine more optimal.
Yeah, I've heard just nothing but great things about that ring. So I'm going to have to put that in the show notes as well. Last question here. Do you have a book that has changed your life? Is there something you read that's just like, wow, I have to keep rereading this. I need to keep this at my heart?
Well, I read a lot of Haruki Murakami books. It's fiction. It's an interesting storyline, very creative, and it gets me out of my mind. But I don't want to say it's changed my life necessarily. Super unique and a creative art form that I love. But basic stuff like Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read it over and over. It's sitting on my coffee table right now. I recommend it to everybody. I take those things to heart. Remember people's names. Truly compliment people. I think it makes you a better person to think about how other people would see you, or how what you do for other people will leave an impact on them. And so I love those. Just those little snippets of insight. I think we forget those, or been lost, or hasn't information that's not necessarily passed on. So to have it codified is something great.
Absolutely, my man. And can you give our listeners one last real talk thought, is there something that's just, on your heart right now that you need to express to those that are listening, why maybe they should do business with Attack and you?
That would be, I don't know if it'd be too cliche, but, I would say that it's important to respect the art form of what we're doing and then the craft and understand the technical elements that go into building these types of things that we do. And I guess that's why someone will call us, because they've seen the work that we've done and it's inspired them. So, work to inspire people and understand all the details that go into doing that. It's not an easy thing to do. It's like taking a scalpel to a website. I mean, we look at the code and every semicolon's in the right place and everything's optimized and humming and working. And that's when you start to get into a flow and really present your best work. So
I love that. Work to inspire. I love that. And where's the best place if someone wanted to reach out to you? On the website, where's the best place for them to connect to you?
Yeah, website's good. It's Attack. It's attck.com. A lot of information goes out into Twitter, though. So follow us just twitter.com/attack. And all of our site of the week articles go up there, our newsletters, our case studies,
nice.
Awards. We do interviews, polls, and things like that. And all that stuff on Twitter.
Well, I just want to thank you so much, my man. You have a great energy about you. I love that you're always, very frank and real. And I think that you're going to be building more and more successful sites for businesses and brands, and on the way to get that journey to that Malibu, oceanfront property. You're going to, my man. You're going to, folks. You've been hanging out with Dennis Plucinik of Attack and Travis Too Tall and Huff. I want to thank you so much for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today.